Hi guys, welcome to Kaylee's Knitting. This video is mainly going to be about a tutorial on how to do doing your starting chain as well as doing some single crochets. There's a lot you can do with single crochets, especially if you're just starting out and want to at least get the bases down for it. So you can make something for yourself or a gift for a friend, family member, co-worker, whoever, to make it more sentimental and more special to that person that you are gifting it to. Or you're just simply just wanting to sit here and just start something for yourself, and you just wanted to start somewhere before you jump ahead. So with this, like I said earlier, this video is mainly going to be about, of course, the starting chain and the single crochet. So let's go ahead and get into that. Okay guys, so with this tutorial you'll need, of course, your yarn, your crochet hook, the size, your preferred size of your crochet hook. I'm using a 5mm, a tapestry needle. This will help you, of course, weave in those ends when you're done with your project. And then, of course, scissors. That will, of course, kind of cut any loose ends after you use the tapestry needle and your so let's go ahead and do it. So you can go ahead and set at least these to the side because you won't need them just yet. Normally when you look on these wrappers that come around the yarn, you'll notice that there is like a weight. It's basically the weight number. So the loops and threads yarn that I have in this color is a medium 4, and for the knitting needles it prefers you to use a 5.5mm or a US 9, and then of course for the crochet hook it is a 5.5mm or US I9. It is, of course, 100% acrylic. You'll usually find all of this on like the side and everything. If not, you can ask, if you get your yarn from like a local yarn shop and it doesn't have like one of these, you can always ask the person. Usually you can always ask the staff that's there on what weight it is, what hook it recommends. If you're getting it for a project and it says like, oh, you need to use a 5mm hook for both needle and this, I don't know how the knitting needles work, but like how I just use a 5mm, you can you don't have to ask them that. You could just ask like what kind it is. So like this, it is a medium 4, and it is acrylic. This is also Red Heart brand. They normally recommend a 5mm. So there's that, and then of course there's also like washing instructions on here. So like with this brand, Loops and Threads, it is, I'm sorry. So this is like the washing instructions for Loops and Threads yarn is that you wash, machine wash cold, gentle cycle, do not bleach and tumble dry low. And then of course this is what it is, and then of course it will also tell you right here how many ounces it is, and then of course the yards, and then of course there's the metric system for the ones that aren't really familiar, or the metric and the gram system here, that if you don't understand the yards or the ounces. And usually some yarns like Red Heart and of course Loops and Threads, they have free patterns. Loops and Threads of course has the QR code that's right here. It's basically scan here for free pattern, and with Red Heart it usually has it on the inside of the thing. So if you want to try that pattern for the Red Heart, try not to like rip it like down the center, like try to like do it like that if you're able to, so that way you can have it straight out like that without it ripping or anything. And you can just like stick it away into a drawer and everything. So with this, I usually just try to like keep it to where either myself or my husband don't accidentally throw it away. So so let's go ahead and get into this. That was just a little mini tutorial on how to read the thing, if you're kind of confused on how to read it. But if you know how to read it, thank you for bearing with me. So I just picked this lighter color so you can see what's going on. So we're gonna go ahead and make our loop. So we're gonna start with this. Make sure you, of course, you have an end. You're gonna have to have at least a tail. Oh, sorry, I actually hit my thing. So you'll have to have like a tail off to the side like this. So you're gonna kind of leave a tail. You can do that. You're gonna grab it, at least you're gonna have it like this. You're gonna push at least the middle to where it's kind of looping in. It's basically like a little slip knot. I call it a slip knot. So there's that. And then you're gonna take your hook, your size preference, or your size preference, or so you're gonna lay it across like that. So you're gonna bring it around, bring this finger and this finger up to here, at least to keep it steady so you're not having a tight tension. And another rule of thumb with this is that you don't want to have too tight of a tension, because if you have too tight of a tension, it will be hard to work with, and it also will make it look like you dropped some stitches, especially when you have to sit here and make sure you count, because if you don't count your stitches, it will just sit here and look off and not okay. So you always gotta make sure you count your chains. So here's it is. So we're gonna go up to at least 5, 10, and then we'll take it from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And also the other reason why you need to make sure your tension is okay is because it will be very hard for you to get your hook back out with the yarn that you're like trying to grab and everything. So that's another thing you got to look out for. So so there's that. So since we have 10, we need to make sure we keep in the back of our mind that we have chain 10, and that's where we need to keep our stitches and everything. So another thing is that you always need to make sure you at least chain an extra one, because if not, you will if you say you did the 10 chains and you don't, and you get like a decent way up, and you decide to count how many stitches you have, and it's like one off, you'll be like, I thought I chained 10. It's always good to at least have an extra one. If you do end up sitting here and counting 11, you know why, because you have an extra one in there. So this is what your your chain should look like. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and go into this first one that's right here, and then gonna go in like this, gonna grab our yarn and then pull it through that loop, and you should have two hoops on your hook right now. So you're gonna grab more yarn and pull all the way through, and then you're gonna go to the next one. So that's stitch 1. So you're gonna go through the second one, pull through. So you should have 2 on here again. Pull more. That. I'm gonna at least go, so that's number 2. I'm gonna go down to 5, and then I'll stop and I'll meet you at the end after. You're gonna go through the loop again, pull the yarn through. You should have 2, grab and pull through again. So that should be what, 3? Yes. Then 2 more. So grab, pull, should have 2, grab, pull, there's that, and then you're gonna go through. Then this is the last one I'm gonna do with you guys. Grab, pull, should have 2, and then grab and pull. So I'm gonna stop the video here. Well, not this whole video. I'm gonna stop this clip here, and then I'll meet you guys at the end of how many rows that you have counted, of the chains that you have started, and I will see you guys in a second. So this is where you can pause the video if you want, so you can catch up to the length that you're wanting, or to take a minute to catch up to where we are now. Okay guys, so welcome back. So that first little row that you have should at least look like this. Should at least look like this. Nice and loose looking and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and count. I'm gonna use my tapestry needle to kind of help. So we got 1, oh, yeah. Focus, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this will be your 10th one. No, I chained 10, and it seems like I might have dropped one or skipped one, but yeah, this is what it means that you always need to make sure you are counting what you have and everything. So since it is technically stopped at 9, that's why it's always important to at least have that at least 1 to 2 extra chains to at least give you that accurate number that you're needing, and of course make it look more like what your pattern is supposed to look like. So with going forward with this, you guys are gonna so we are gonna of course flip our work after we chain 1, because it will of course help. You can either just leave it where it is, or you chain 1. Also, you need to make sure you also follow the pattern too, as well. So you're gonna chain 1, so it should kind of look like this, and you're gonna flip your work like that. So we're gonna do like we did with this first row, which is basically called the base row, really. And of course, if you're doing a bigger like a bigger chain than what I did, and you're wanting to like make a blanket, to help you count your rows, you'll of course need some stitch markers. Preferably probably like a multiple color one, so you at least keep track of keep track of keep track of your rows. You can also sit here and use it for keeping track of how many chains you did. With me, I do every 50. So if I do a blanket with 150, I should at least have 3. I choose yellow for that, so you can sit here and color code them. So like I have yellow for like the amount of chains that I should have, and then if of course we're flipping work with like the bottom row, I would have like orange for that one and then blue for the next row, and I'll just keep on sitting here, of course stacking that up. If you end up like running out of one of those 2 colors, you can find something similar. So like with the blue, there's another blue down here, and then since there's only one type of orange, I can either pick between the rest of the colors that aren't being used, like the purple, the greens, the pinks, and the red. So it's always good to at least have these, and it also helps to at least, if you're trying to stop and you're not wanting it to get messed up, you can always use one of these to at least keep that in place, so you're not losing any rows. So of course we chained 1 and flipped our work. Some people go through both the loops that up here, like you can tell right here. I go through both because it makes it look less. Some works will come out a little gappy, and I don't like the gap, so I go through both, and it also makes it more nicer than anything. So with this, we're gonna for you guys, I'll go through both. I will go through both. You guys don't have to. If you just go, it's basically going through the first loop like that with it, and you're gonna grab it. Just still have to grab and go. We're gonna do 5 again like we did last time. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is what you do with that. So you're gonna sit here, I'm gonna sit here and stop it here, and I will see you guys in a second, and I'll let you guys catch up to where you need to be, or take a minute to catch up, or fix something or whatever. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay guys, so this is what your second row should look like. I could sit here and do the 2 like what I did with the stitch markers, but with just this swatch I'm not gonna quite do it. So it should look like this. So you can should pause if you guys can pause here to continue on with this swatch. You should at least, I'll probably have you guys go at least 2 more rows to make it look like a good swatch, and everything, and I'll meet you guys at the end so we can fasten it off. So I'm gonna sit here and help you guys one more time with 1 more row, and then the last row will be on you guys to at least try to do on your own to see how it will turn out. So like I had you guys do before, you're gonna chain 1 like that, and then you're gonna flip your work again, and then like I had you guys do last time, you're gonna go through that first loop that's right there. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. So, of course, here's your, your third row. It should, of course, look like this. I'm gonna have you guys try the fourth and final row on your own. I'm gonna go 2 more just to make it more of a good swatch, because sometimes having a good swatch helps me, and of course future videos to kind of show off what single crochet, give you guys reminders on what single crochets look like, and everything. So and plus, if I end up going to any markets, this will of course give me, if they're wanting me to make them something that is not shown on my table, I can simply just pull this out and of course show them like, hey, this is what single crochets look like. It's like less gappy and it looks kind of beautiful, like it's in the colors that you want, and of course the style that you want with a single crochet, because a lot can be done with the single crochet, as well as any other future tutorials that we will be doing. So we are going to go ahead and stop, pause. You guys can go ahead and pause the video and do 1 to 2 more rows to give you guys a little bit more practice, and also make sure you guys do that chain 1 and then flip your work and go from there. And make sure you always at the end, make sure you count either along the way, like you guys seen me do, count along the way, as well as at the end, if you guys not want to count along the way because you get distracted, because I know there's some people like myself like to get distracted easily, or just like the peace and quiet and like to focus. So you guys can pause the video and here, and we will meet you guys at the end to sit here and finish off and weave in the ends that we have, like this lovely thing, and then with what is left from being attached to the thing. So I will see you guys in a bit. So go ahead and pause here. I'll see you guys later. Okay guys, so this should be the last bit. I'm sorry, I was just adjusting myself. So this should be the last bit of what you should be doing with your little swatch, a little swatch that you should be doing. So this is when your lovely scissors should be coming in. So with the yarn that is still attached to your lovely yarn that you have, your preferred yarn, you cut it like that. So then, like you would do with like the rest of your stitches, you're gonna grab and then pull through that last one that you have, and make sure you pull all the way through so you can sit here and tie off just like that. So you don't need your scissors or your crochet hook anymore from that. And then this, and as well as your yarn, and then there's that. So it should kind of look like that. So your single crochets should look like that. Here's your base chain. So that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can usually see where it's at, but if you're kind of confused and everything, that's when your lovely lovely stitch markers come in to kind of help keep track of how many rows you got and everything. So there's that. And then here comes when, actually you do need your scissors, never mind, don't mind me. So just kind of put your scissors off to the side. So with weaving in your ends, let's do this. This is gonna take me a minute. So just, of course, put your yarn through, through there. And there are, while I'm working on this, I'll talk. I know there are, like, tapestry needles that are preferred to be for crochet work and everything. And also there's also this tool that helps you get your yarn into the tapestry needle. I don't have one, and I don't know the name of it, but some like kits that you have like a tapestry needle for the yarn, they come with one to help with that if you're not well with doing that. And usually I can just do that and just pull it in like that. You might end up just having a little fray, but it will be fine because you're gonna be cutting most of it off anyway. When you're weaving in the ends, you can either go through the top or through the side to do it. I usually just do it through the like the top loops right here. And same thing with the bottom one. I will start with the top one right now, and then I'll go through the second one to at least help show you guys again. So you are gonna go through this first one and just basically weave it in like this. Again, like this. Kind of like you're sewing something up. That. You can probably like go do this like through one or at least 5 to kind of just give it that extra extra little thing, and then you're gonna take your lovely scissors and go snip. And that's gonna go in my scrap drawer. Not my scrap drawer, my scrap jar. You guys can, of course, like I have this. This is just from a little bit from a little project I'm doing on the side. I have like a jar that I keep like these kind of things with, because like if you're doing like either amigurumi, it's a good way to save those things because it can sit here and be a lot more cheaper to use some scraps like that. And of course scrap yarn, like if you have like a little bit left over but it's not enough to start something, you can just like simply just like throw it in there. Like if it's like a little teeny tiny bit but it's nothing to do with it, you can simply just throw it into a jar. I used to like keep it in a bag, but my husband, not his fault because I always leave it laying around. He can agree to that. Either myself in a rage or just stressed cleaning, pick it up and accidentally throw it away. Same thing goes with him. Sometimes he gets stressed out and clean. I know everybody has those days where they sit here and stress out and clean like that. But with this last loop, like you're gonna of course try to thread it in. You don't have to worry, but if you do end up doing like I did it both of these times, it's gonna look like that. And there's no worries about that. You can just simply just cut it off towards the end after like at least going through 3 to 4 of those loops up here to kind of secure it a little bit. So we're gonna, if I can stop dropping it, so go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just one extra one just to be safe, and 6. So I'm going to take the scissors, cut off what's left over, and then put it in your jar if you're wanting to keep it. So these can just be simply put aside for right now. So this is what it should look like, kind of nice and neat. Like, of course, your ends are put in neatly and everything. So as you can tell, it's kind of like that and everything. So this can go with some of the other swatches and I have this that's a little bit more bigger with each other, which this one I haven't quite done my the weaving in ends, but probably with the tutorial that I do with you guys I'll do it. But this is what your single crochets should look like. Then you can put this into the single crochets that you guys just worked on or learned. You guys can put into a scarf or a blanket. If you're wanting to go with something a little bit more simpler and more beginner, I suggest doing the scarf to kind of course, work if you're wanting to work on your single crochets a little bit better. If it didn't turn out as well as you thought, you can definitely just start out with a scarf or a simple little pattern that you found here on YouTube or somewhere else. So there's that. So I hope you guys like this little tutorial. So I will see you guys in a second. So that was, of course, the tutorial for the single crochet. For that, I'm sorry for the little rambling on in there a little bit and everything. So that was that. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it will be put down in the description box if you want to go follow me on there. And if you can, subscribe and like my video, and hopefully I'll be able to see you guys more in more videos as I grow my channel a little bit more, as well as doing more tutorial for you guys. I already have a plan on more tutorials that I would like to do, which the next one should be a double crochet. Actually, I'll do a half double crochet, then the double crochet, because they're one and the same but different. I'm sorry, my cat's down here. He's hungry and I need to feed him even though it's 9 o'clock at night, but still. But I hopefully will see you guys in the next video, and hopefully this video has helped you helped you at least start with your crocheting journey. Or if you're just trying to brush up on some, or if you're a advanced learner but kind of done some of those other stitches that I know you probably guys already know, kind of brushing up on your single crochets, or seeing what other techniques other people are doing or whatever, to see if it will help you out or not, especially you intermediate ones that are still learning and everything yourselves. And I know everybody is in different stages and of course is still learning. I hope this video finds you well, and hopefully it has helped you guys. I'm sorry if I repeated that a couple times, but hopefully this video has helped you well, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. So I hope you guys have fun. Bye.